And I didn't even tell my husband this, he doesn't know. Well, I'm only about 4'11", 5', 5'2" on my resume. I take a little Dollar Tree test. You know, you can get a test at the Dollar Tree, and they're actually pretty accurate. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Aurelia Michael Holmgren, Broadway chick, businesswoman, Bronx bodybuilding babe, and now baby mama. This page is more than just talking about babies. This is about becoming and not forgetting who you were up until you got to this point. This page is about more than just babies. It's about becoming and not forgetting who you've come this far as. And today we're talking about how I knew I was pregnant before I even took a test. So you can check out an old video that I did that's a full story of how I prepared for about 3 to 4 months to get knocked up. But I'm going to give you a quick backstory. So I am currently in my 14th week, so I'm in my second trimester. And when I was in New York a year ago, I was working on a Broadway show for 3 months. And while I was there, I decided that was the time to, one, get off of birth control after being on and off for about 20 years, changing up my supplementation from when I was bodybuilding, really focusing in on my exercise, limiting alcohol, so many other things that you can find in that video. But I wanted to take that time to really reset my body and get it prepared for this new journey, especially because I was literally about to become 39 years old. And if you don't know by now, they've changed the naming, but it used to be geriatric and now it's advanced maternal age. And with all these statistics and all the stories you hear, I wanted to make sure that I was in the best possible physical, mental, and emotional space to begin my pregnancy journey. So although my husband came to visit around the middle of my trip, I hadn't seen any ovulation signs. So I was reading a book on ovulation, which you can find in an episode that I'm doing about books and podcasts that I personally recommend. But I was using ovulation sticks and I didn't see anything. I didn't actually try those until around October, November, because I knew August, September, my body at least needed a rest because I had been bodybuilding for 4 competitive years. So that was going from 95 pounds to 130 pounds repeatedly. So I didn't even bother. But when it came to around October, November, when my husband was coming, I did look at the sticks, but they didn't show anything. We tried anyway, didn't work out. And then when I came back in December, still didn't see anything. We had some family things going on, so we actually took January off. And I think that is really important, just a sidebar. If you find yourself trying and stressing, and sometimes you really need your brain and your body to take a break, to relax, you can still more casually try, but I found that we were starting to stress ourselves out and that was making the process harder. So we actually took January off. I checked my ovulation sticks in February. Still nothing was coming. At that point, I was getting a little discouraged and I was like, okay, is anything going to happen? But then in March, I noticed the ovulation stick started to change. And to be honest, we tried it twice in a week and I was pregnant. Now, here's how I knew before I took the test. So there's a little space between that and when I took my test. The first thing was being tired. I was exhausted. And I normally have the energy of 3 people. I'm only about 4'11", 5', 5'2" on my resume. But I was exhausted and I was like, something is going on. And then at my church, my pastor kept talking about how for entrepreneurs and creatives, we kept being fed this narrative that having a child, having a family would kill our future, kill our career, kill our independence and all these things. And so my pastor kept encouraging us like, no, you can have both. You're created to have both. You can do it. And so I kept feeling convicted every time because he was doing about 3-4 weeks. He even brought the kids from the kids club up and they were praying and it was just so beautiful. And I started to notice even hormonally, I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel something. And then I remember talking to my friend Spencer on Marco Polo and I made a joke about, yeah, because my cycle's 3 days late. And after I got off, I said, wait, my cycle's 3 days late. Even though I was bodybuilding, even though I was coming off of birth control, my cycle has been regular since the beginning of time. So I kind of started thinking, could something be going on? And then the last thing that I guess I didn't even know, I had my first day off from my musical that I was working on. And I didn't even tell my husband this, he doesn't know. I went and got all you can eat sushi. Now, if you know, you're not supposed to have, I'm not gonna say you're not supposed to have, live your life, but they advise you not to have uncooked meat. I was tearing up. This is my first time having all you can eat sushi. And your girl had a plum wine, and she went to the gym that day, so you know she had a C4. So who knew that it was gonna be my last time having uncooked meat, my sushi, having wine, and having my energy drink, which are three of my favorite things in the world. But it's okay. So here's how it went down. Saturday afternoon, I take a little Dollar Tree test. You know, you can get a test at the Dollar Tree, and they're actually pretty accurate. They're basic, but they're accurate. And I noticed the second line was dark-ish, but not really. So I overnighted the clear blue because I needed to know. I can't do symbols. I need words. So I ordered it. It came in before I left for church on that Sunday, but I was too afraid to look at it. So I went and met with a friend. We had lunch. I went to church. I came back, and here's what happened. Babe, I need your help.
What's this?
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed watching that as much as I enjoyed rewatching it and living it. I just wanted to share with y'all a bit of how I started to feel, because maybe there's some intuition that you're feeling, you might know, or you may just want to keep some of that in your back pocket. But continue to watch my series. I'm covering doulas. I'll have my doula. She'll be getting interviewed, because I don't know how people are out here doing this on their own. Just creating your support team in general. I'm going to be covering items that I'm getting, items that I don't need to get. I'm going to be covering traveling, business women, entrepreneurs, how to travel while pregnant, because I've been traveling a lot, especially with bodybuilding, and there's a lot of things that I make sure I do before I even get there to set myself up for success. And if there's any topics you want me to cover, because I think this channel is important, this is for women who are bosses, who have the energy of, I want my child to know that while they are the center of this beautiful world of mine, that I am also a woman. I am also an artist. I am also corporate. I am also, like, you don't have to set it all aside, because then you don't get to show them that they can also do it all. Thank y'all so much for sharing this moment with me. If any of it resonated with you, drop a comment, share it with someone you know, or even just take a minute to honor your journey wherever that is. Feel free to share that with me in the comments too. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. You gotta like, comment, share, subscribe. Don't make your girl beg. And remember, age does not define your timeline. You do.